Oh, folks, welcome to the Chop Shop. I'm Mr. Zachary. Today we're going to figure out if we can make 600 horsepower at the tires for $6,000 all in with the cost of the vehicle. That's right, baby. We're going budget today. Let's go. In today's age of the internet, builds are getting wildly out of hand and crazy expensive. I bought a Ferrari F40.
Twin turbo 1969 Camaro.
This is my 997.2 GT3.
1,300 wheel horsepower, twin turbo F12.
But does that have to be the case? I don't think so. Most people don't have six-figure budgets to throw at their cars. You want to go enjoy it. You want to have fun, and you don't want it to break the bank. So that's what we're going to try to figure out in this series. And this is how we're going to do it. For this series, our weapon of choice is this cherry 2005 Escalade EXT. You may remember this car from a year ago when I bought it from my friend Mike Tornabene as a joke because it was the thing that inspired the Dom Mazzetti character many years back.
We see these like studs, right? They roll up in this white Escalade EXT pickup, and I'm like, these dudes. And right there I saw my future. Bunch of Guidos in a Cadillac, just scooping up tang.
Now, this thing was $2,000 when we got it. That leaves us about $4 grand worth of runway. So this is how we're doing it. Boost, obviously, because we don't want to tear the motor down. We don't want to have to do any actual real hard work. This is bolt-on boy spec stuff. Summit Racing has these kits that are super cost effective, and the Summit house branded turbos are friggin' sick now. Here's the skinny on this. The star player of this kit is this 7875 Summit Turbo. Now this is part number 260053. It's a floating journal bearing center section, which is really reliable, and honestly it saves money over the cost of like a ball bearing unit. And as long as you provide it with the proper oil pressure and you keep your oil changed, the damn thing will last about the life of the engine. This features an 83mm exducer and a 75mm inducer, and a billet compressor wheel that's ballpoint milled with updated aero to support up to 1,000 horsepower, and maybe a little bit more if you're really in a party. The turbine wheel, it's an Inconel material. It's ideally sized for a 5.3 setup, but it provides a really quick spool on larger displacements. 1.25 AR turbine housing with a T4 inlet and a 4-inch V-band on the discharge. The compressor housing is cast aluminum, nicely finished. This thing is ideal for a 5.3 liter build, but we're looking to make 600 to the tires, so this thing will be perfect for lighting off quick without choking in the higher RPMs. Turbo, obviously really nice stuff, especially for the price. It's like crazy. But the thing that really impressed me is this cast stainless manifold that they have now. Casting job is incredible, super smooth ports on everything. The banks are split, so you got one bank that goes here, comes out of there. You got your own wastegate port there with a V-band already worked into it. This is the driver's side bank that comes over here. This is separate from the passenger side bank. It's got its own V-band port for wastegate, T4 flange, and we don't have to weld anything, which is the biggest part for me, because I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I know. We got this big old front mount Summit intercooler, and again, it's already V-banded, ready for a blow-off valve right there, which I just realized we need to get, but we're actually gonna steal that off the old Turbo Tahoe. That's another thing, by the way. We can't spend over $6,000 on this thing. We are gonna be stealing a few parts from other stuff that's laying around the shop, but that's okay. Over to the wastegates. Now, the Summit kit typically comes with the Summit Racing wastegates. Those are back ordered right now until July, and we wanted to get this thing on the road. So they went ahead and sent some VS Racing units. We're basically using the stock manifold on the driver's side, and then Summit makes this rad crossover tube that just kind of loops down under the bell housing and connects to the backside of this guy. Fuel is going to be super important here. In order to fuel this thing, we've got some Walbro 450s, bought one, had another one sitting in the shop, because if it's not getting fuel, it's leaning out, and we're blowing it up way early. Now, TripFlow just released a new series of injectors. These are the 110 pound an hour versions. These fit the budget. Spark plugs, get some TR8IX. That's an 8 heat range. We went ahead and grabbed one of these to mount to the side of the block so we can provide oil to the turbo, a flex fuel sensor. We had this from the Turbo Tahoe setup. We're gonna be using it here. This is just a GM flex fuel sensor, and then this is an adapter from Radium so that you can run like a -10 line, and it flows through both sides so you don't get any restrictions there. Do you need that on something like 600 horsepower? Probably not, but you never know. We're gonna go bigger. Anyway, this is an oil pressure regulator and filter for your turbo. This is made by TurboSmart, and it's like 45 bucks. It's really cheap insurance to get, but worth it. Radium fuel pressure regulator and pulse dampener. We also have a 3-bar map sensor. Again, stolen from another build because we're gonna need it if we wanna tune this thing right. All this stuff behind me, this is not included in the price. Just some extra things that we kind of needed for this because one, all the gaskets completely shot. This thing pisses oil out of every single gasket, so I went ahead and got a full gasket kit. Yeah, there's head gaskets too, but we're not gonna put those on until we absolutely need them because I don't wanna take the heads off on this thing. I don't wanna open it up. I don't wanna see how bad it is. So with the parts that we just went through, the stuff that's actually gonna be making us make this power, here's what our total cost comes out to. What is that, 3,100 bucks?
$3159.92.
$3159.92, right? We got money to spare, baby. Again, this truck was about 2,000 bucks. It was dirt ass cheap because it's got 1 billion miles on it. We've got some to spare. We got some room to grow if we need to. I think we're gonna be sitting pretty here. Here's what we're gonna do. Our buddy Mike Tornabene, Dom Mazzetti, is gonna come here and get his hands dirty with us. He can't come till tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do is get ahead of the curve here. We're gonna start tearing this thing down and we're gonna get into it. We need to be making power, and we need to be making power soon. Let's go. All right, first things first, we gotta get this thing up in the air and saws all the exhaust out because I don't wanna take off bolts. Safety first, baby. Style first, safety second. Ow. 40 pounds worth of weight reduction right there. We can't just like cut that off and not fire it up. Should have done that sooner.
A few moments later.
Alright, what happened?
I think I smacked a vein, which sucks.
That's gonna hurt. Doesn't feel good. Yeah, it's definitely gonna hurt.
Alright, so what are we gonna do?
Yeah, you're gonna need to get this stitched up.
Alright, we're back. It's day 2. Can't really use the right hand because you probably saw what happened unless YouTube completely blocks this video because of blood and stuff. So we gotta figure that one out though. But it's alright. We got help today. We got Mr. Mike Tornabene here who's gonna learn how to work on cars by me yelling at him.
For like the 5th time. It's gonna stick this time. I'm gonna learn.
Oh yeah, this is far more in depth than what we tried to do last time, but there's not like a freedom funnel involved. Mike is gonna be doing all the lifting, and then I am gonna be trying to tell him what to do, and I'm terrible at explaining things. So enjoy. Let's get started. Let me like walk you through what we gotta do here.
Okay.
We got Andrew over here. By the way, I just want to call out, Andrew's looking stellar, and we're gonna see how dirty those phenomenal looking pants. You got sparkles in those pants too, brother?
Yeah, right. They come with pre-stripper glitter on them.
Nice.
So that way, if you do go to a strip club and you come home to your girlfriend or wife, she's not like, where's all this glitter from? It's like, oh, they came with the pants.
Pre-glitter. All right.
Shellcorp.com.
Oh, those are yours?
Those are mine.
Oh, sick.
They're Shellcorp.com.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, so check it out. Here's what we gotta do. Yesterday, I was sawzawing the exhaust, it fell and smacked the back of my hand, cut it, and I bled everywhere. So what we gotta do is we gotta get the exhaust off today while it's up, and then we're gonna drop the fuel tank. There you go. There you go. There you go. Got it. Nice. Not exact science.
Neither is science.
Cool. Down. Oh, Mike, wait. Hang on. Push it. Ah, look at that dong. Break it out.
I can.
There you go. Oh, she's a sweet. There you go. Jersey beat hook, baby.
They wanted to see the unreleased footage from Vegas.
Oh my God.
Here it is.
Good times.
I think the thing is, I don't have much of a frame of reference, so I don't know if it's like going right or, you know, par for the course.
I think the thing is, you need to start turning that bolt faster so we can get on with this shit.
I was busy being an entertainer.
So right now, Mike's taking out the spark plugs, and then he's gonna take off the header. The thing that we're replacing that, well, exhaust manifold, not the header. We're replacing that with this. Then we're gonna connect both the exhaust with this little crossover tube. So this guy goes like, basically like this, and just crosses underneath to connect both sides. And then we're replacing the spark plugs with these 8 heat range spark plugs. So yeah, this has probably not been changed in years. Yeah, this thing's been in there a hot minute. Okay.
All right.
Mike has the exhaust off, so this is good. We're really cooking here now. Yeah. Now we can start putting some stuff on. There you go. All right. Yeah. Could be that one. It needs to wiggle a little bit. So now we get to install these super fancy billet valve covers that we stole from another project. These things are cool. The main reason I want to use these is because they have these breather ports in them and they're baffled too. And I can pretty much guarantee that we're going to be making some crankcase pressure here. This isn't exactly the tightest motor, you know what I mean? All right, ready to see what this turbo looks like on here? This hog is gonna sit about, oh, right about there. It's good.
Looks nice though.
I mean, it looks like it's gonna turbo. It's gonna turb.
It's gonna do all the
It's
turbo.
gonna do the turbine. Right. Hell yeah.
Good work, dude. Thanks, man.
Only minimal struggles. It's not even
Yeah, it's only a few.
You probably noticed we got Andrew here shooting as well. That's because this is going to be on an episode of an RPM as well.
That's right, baby. We're coming back for like the 5th time, but this time it's gonna stick. I swear to God.
Actually coming back. Yeah. So if you want to see like all of the actually uncensored stuff that we definitely can't say on my channel, you should check that out. It's on Mike Tornabene's channel. If you want to figure out how to spell that, it's on the screen. Can't read? That's okay. Me neither. It's in the description. There's a link below. Also, buy some shell cores because I can't fund this all myself.
I barely can.
I know, we're all
Help us out.
cars
please.
ruined us. All right, day 3, people. We're back in action, and we figured some stuff out last night. Now, Mike did a great job. He didn't ruin anything, and we got some progress done on this, but we did realize that there's some things we're going to need to change, and we found some solutions to them. So let me walk you through it real quick. Now, last night, we took the intake off and then scraped off about 15 pounds of grime and grit under this thing. Got the new gaskets on. We've got the turbo manifold on. It sits beautiful. It looks good. Love that. We still got a couple other things to do, like we're gonna do the oil sending unit while we got the intake off, clean some other stuff off. We're gonna do this front tip, but whatever, I'll get into that in a bit. The one big thing was that, if you remember, there was this coolant reservoir that was right here, and that would have been pressing right up against the cold side of the turbo, but if you've ever had a turbo vehicle, you know that shit gets real hot. Luckily, I have this piece that I picked up from Freddie LSX. JR Fab actually makes these and they sell them, and it's basically a burn down tank along with a coolant reservoir built in. And we got to remove this piece here, but you can kind of see how this would sit here. I mean, it is absolutely perfect. So we're going to run this on this for now because we got to get it running. And then I'm going to swap it back over to the Tahoe because, well, like I said, we're not trying to spend money on this thing. Here's what we got to do today. We've got to get this AC compressor out and all the AC crap, because if we're going to run the oil drain back using the timing cover that from Smetting that we got, the AC compressor's in the way, and whatever, we're going full race car on this. So we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna do the timing cover, replace the water pump. Then we're gonna take this grill out and take the bumper off and we're gonna see what we can do to fit that intercooler. Now there's a couple other things we're gonna have to do. This kit, this turbo kit we got, that's actually for a truck of the same kind of year. It's not meant for an Escalade. The Escalade's a little different, but we're doing R&D here, we're figuring it out, and we're gonna make it work one way or another because this thing's got a party, baby. So, let's get to it. All right, so we got the front cover off the 6-liter, and we were blessed with pretty good news. Bam, this thing's got a new oil pump in it. Clearly somebody did do some work to it because they decided not to actually use gaskets on the block, but just RTV. But whatever, hey, good news. We don't have to do an oil pump. I like that. This was a pleasant surprise. Update! We got ourselves a race truck, damn it. We got most of the crap stripped off the engine. We got this fresh looking new Smeding timing cover on, which is clearly way too nice for this engine, but you know what? Whatever. Let's see how the hell we get this damn thing out. What we're gonna try to do is reuse this stock tank, and we're gonna try to basically make a bracket to have our fuel pickups in here, and then run mostly the stock stuff. It's gonna be kind of ghetto rig, but I think we can make it work. I haven't done any research on this, and you know, so we're gonna see. There we go. Holy crap. All right, we just pulled up to Soupy and Grimm's shop here. Figure out this fuel pump scenario. Let's go. What's this? Ooh, look at this guy.
We knew it. We're like, he's gonna come in here with the thing going.
You know what? I typically don't do this, but for you guys, you're special.
We love seeing you, Zach.
What's happening?
What up?
What it do? I just came here to steal parts.
So this is returnless. And this
Yeah, so here's my predicament. This is why I'm here, right? Because this is the bucket that came out of the Escalade. Obviously, this plastic piece comes off because it's the float, but then this plastic is completely surrounding the actual pump, and this is returnless. And I'm guessing this is a vent, and this is some other sort of vent.
That's the feed.
No, this is the feed right here.
So what's this one?
I don't know, but these were both inside the tank.
So this went nowhere?
I'm guessing it's like evac or some shit.
Oh yeah, okay.
But we got to basically find either this or something that like that we can hang these two 450s from. And I don't mind it being rigged. Okay, so here's the solution. We know we need to keep this bucket, and we need to keep at least the outer ring of this so that can support this in the bucket. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the bottom of this bucket out so we can just have that open, because that will give us our hanger. Then we are gonna cut the bottom off this, hog this thing out, so we can basically run these two pumps inside of there, and then we hang this whole assembly off here. What we'll do is we'll utilize one of these lines basically for feed, and then this will remain a vent. We're gonna see if this actually works.
Of course it's gonna. It all works in my head.
Okay. Oh, did you clean that off too?
We media blasted it.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, so.
I drilled 2 new holes. I enlarged one.
Okay. Oh, and so you're gonna basically make a little mark where you're.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a little mark on this so it's easy to drill, and then I'm gonna take these 2 fittings, put them there, put that there, and you'll have your 2 feed lines. And then Soupy has some plan for this. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
And that's it. So I'm gonna weld these out.
Nice.
And then,
this is basically the top bracket for the bucket. Look at that bit. Sitting there. This will sit here. Top of the pump's gonna be held in there, and then we've got this bottom bracket with a laser cut. Boom. Here we go. Probably would have been easier to just build an entire fuel cell. But for the sake of dollars on the screen, this is what we're doing.
But how much have you got in shop hours, you think, in this?
Oh my God. Who's paying?
So anyway, more on that later. Nobody. Damn. You know what? The top hat's looking good, man. So we
Right.
got our 2-6s welded in there, and then you welded in this bolt.
Well, we're gonna use that as a ground stud.
Okay.
And then we put this onto here, ground the pumps through the top, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the 2 positive wires into the 2 pins where it was positive and negative. This way they're not sharing the same power source.
Okay. I can run the stock plug.
Yeah.
And it can be switched on. We're just gonna run relays separate outside
Yes.
of it. Okay.
So we're not burning up the plug too for trying to put too much amperage through one little pin.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Yep. There you have it. Basically, friggin' stock. So, now we just gotta do a little wiring finesse, and we will be good to go, I think.
Cool. All right. Back to work. Let's go. All right, folks. Back here on the Escalade, and we got to figure some stuff out because we got ourselves a little bit of a pickle. That's okay. We signed up for this. So check it out. Here's what we're doing. This is how the intercooler should sit, with that being the charge side and the blow-off valve, and then this being going to your intake. You have to flip it over, meaning that instead of sitting like this, so if you're looking at the truck, right, now, ooh, somebody is lighting off an engine on the dyno right now. So it's gonna have to sit like, anyway, it's gotta sit like that. Luckily we've got a bunch of tubing from ALUCON here. So yeah, we're gonna finagle it, make it work. Yeah. We'll figure it out though. Let's get to work. Brady! Yo, brother, you got a bandsaw by chance?
I do.
Oh, so people. Hi. Brady does pretty sick here. What's up, dude? Oh, hell yeah.
The Porter band.
Friendliest dog ever. That's not very precise. All right. Now we got these cut off. Not the prettiest cuts, but you know what? We're gonna figure it out, damn it. And so clean that up and figure out what kind of length we need. Definitely not metal we want in our intake. This is about where it's gonna sit, and as you can see, we can run our tubing around each side. We've cut out some of the material from here, so we're not gonna have a whole lot of headlight stability, but that's okay. Who cares? This thing's a heap anyway. We're just here to party.
Yo! Damn, son, let's go!
So an intercooler for you.
Dude, that looks good, man. All right. Hell yeah. Dude, I appreciate you, man. Oh, you bead rolled it too? You fancy. Let's see if it fits. Yo, let's go. Dude, good work, brother. Dude, thank you so much. Been through a pinch.
What are neighbors for?
Hey. Good. Baby, let's go. All right, with the charge pipe all laid out, it's time to mount a blow-off valve port. Now, since I'm trying not to spend money here, I'm stealing the TurboSmart Raceport 50mm valve off the old Turbo Godzilla setup that was in Wayland 1.0. Now, if I were to buy one of these for this project, I'd probably go with this 50mm valve from Summit for $69.99. This way it fits our budget, and it's gonna work. Now look, if you wanna build a kit like this yourself, here's what the parts costs are looking like if you do it on the absolute low. You're gonna need a 3-inch aluminum builder's kit, you're gonna need a 4-inch to 3-inch silicone reducer, 3-inch straight silicone coupler, 2 3-inch 90-degree silicone couplers, and the blow-off valve. That's going to bring you to a total of $225.94, and add that into our existing parts spend of $3,159.92, brings us to a new total of $3,385.86. Okay, we're back, baby, and we got Dustin Anderson here. Thank the Lord. What's up? You may remember Dustin from helping me out whip some exhaust together for my K5. Today, we're gonna whip up a downpipe and some wastegate tubes. This is simple, right? We don't have to get like too crazy. I know you do like real beautiful stuff typically, right? But I don't want to take up too much of your time. Here's what we're gonna do. The downpipe, if we can get it inside of the frame rail, that'd be dope. I just need at least 12 inches of run host of an O2 sensor.
Yeah, sounds good. Then we'll look at what we have to work with it.
So I got a bunch of this Stainless Bros stainless here. I've got 321 and I've got 304. Dealer's choice here.
Okay. We'll take a look at what we got.
Alright, so since we're trying to stay as budget friendly as possible and I only have 3-inch piping, I had to get this reducer that brings us from 4 inches down to 3 inches. Unfortunately, I bought it from Amazon. It was cheap, but as we found out, none of the 3-inch V-bands actually line up with it. It's got a really weird outlet. So what we're doing here is we are welding one of our Stainless Bros 3-inch V-bands directly to this, and then we're going to run a tube into that, weld the tube to this, and essentially we'll just V-band this to the outlet of the turbo. So while Dusty's over there welding up some stuff, I'm gonna make myself useful, and I'm gonna cut away some things we don't need. Mostly this heat shielding right here, so we can make ourselves a little bit of space to come off there. And probably take this water box out, so we can have some space. All right, here's the result of our quick rig. Not too bad.
God. I'm gonna need to take those off.
Now, after a few hours of work, we got the exhaust all buttoned up, so let's add up the cost for building out a comparable exhaust system. So you're going to need a 3-inch to 4-inch stainless steel exhaust V-band adapter, a 4-inch V-band, 3-inch universal 304 stainless builder's kit, and an 1 1/4 stainless U-bend to make the dumps for the wastegates. That brings us to a total of $162.97, bringing our total parts spend to $3,576.78.
All right, we're obviously full swing into the Escalade build, but we're gonna pause for just a quick second here. No, it's not an ad. We gotta do a very important chop shop update. We gotta give this place a little makeover because it's looking a lot like a prison and less like a shop. Plus, as you may have seen in some earlier episodes, been working on some branding for myself and really the channel. And so I think it's about time that we get Chop Worldwide on full display here. We start making this thing a reality. So the crew from SIGNARAMA COVINA just pulled up to lay on some 3M vinyl for the back wall, all the logo stuff that we're gonna do, and it's gonna look sick. I can't wait to show you guys this. Let's get it. Yo! Yo, John, appreciate it. What's up, brother? What up? So far, this process has only taken like a couple hours. I mean, from the time they got here and set up, just kind of started laying stuff out. I mean, it's already going up. Oh, nice. So the logos are looking sick. We still gotta move some stuff around. I'm probably gonna move the box so it's like, cause it's just not aligned. It's gotta be centered, otherwise it's gonna bother me. But we gotta get back to work on the old Escalade.
So the next day after finishing up the exhaust fab, my buddy SUPPY came by and helped me install the fuel tank and wire up a couple things. We ran a trigger wire from the ECU to trigger 2 relays that will fire up the fuel pumps. Now while he was here, he also pinned in the GM flex fuel sensor so that we can run it directly off the ECU as well. Now what we're gonna have to do to make this work is reflash the ECU using HP tuners and trick the ECU into thinking it's coming from a 3/4 ton express van because those came native with flex fuel. This way we can do all of our tuning off the ECU. We don't have to run any piggyback systems or any kind of trickery and make it all work real simple. Now I also got all the fuel lines built out using recycled AN lines off of other projects and just stuff that I had lying around the shop. So it does look kind of janky, but I think it's gonna work. The last piece of the puzzle when it comes to this fuel system are the fuel rails. And this is what we're gonna do to make it all work. We're reusing the stock boys. Now, is this a bad idea? Maybe. But last night, I asked AI if these fuel rails would handle the kind of power output we need with the kind of fuel flow we need on E85. According to AI here, stock fuel rails can support 600 to 800 horsepower. Now, I also didn't just ask AI, I actually went on some forums, old guy style, and I found plenty of people that were making way more power to the tires using these crap plastic fuel logs. So that's what we're gonna do. We're running -8 fuel line all the way up to the fuel pressure regulator, and we are running a -6 out of that into this. I think for 600 horsepower, we should be okay. We'll figure it out though on the dyno. Keeping it cost effective and don't have to spend money buying billet fuel rails. So that's good. Got most everything plugged in, at least kind of rigged up. Don't look too hard there, okay? We're gonna try to get this thing fired up. So we got to do a little beeping and booping with HP tuners. We're gonna get this fucker going, baby. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. So I had to call. Yo!
Oh my God, bro.
Hold on, it's Darden calling me real quick. What's up, Ho?
I had to call in the big guns, get this thing tuned, but I got the Corvette whisperer himself.
I just came in with.
And he actually pulled up in this choppy boy C8. It's nice to hear a C8 with some cam to it. Sounds appropriate. That's how a C8 should sound. Oh man, are we gonna get this thing fired up tonight?
Of course. I already have the tune file. I'm just gonna load it up right now.
Look at that. Easy.
Right
By the
now.
way, that sounds good. That's how these should sound.
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, they wanted to go with the exotic bullshit, and then I was like, you know what? They should sound like a regular LS. LS, LT, same bullshit.
Well, I appreciate you coming out. Let's get this thing fired up, man. We gotta hear what this sounds like.
We're just gonna go based on the KPA. We're gonna VE tune this thing because we don't have math, obviously. So we're just gonna do some VE on 91, and then later on we're gonna put E85 and do that. Right now I was just trying to log it to see if it will at least show alcohol percentage. I brought like my slaves over here too.
Hey, you know what? Fernando's killing it. Come on. We had to bring this Corvette in so we could steal the AFR gauge out of it so we can do this. Thanks, G. You gonna fire it up? All right, let's see it.
It's not showing anything because the wideband is not heating up. It's heating up, but like it's not running enough for it to show me any data right now.
Oh! 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 Get you some! Let's go, baby! Ha ha! Yes, son! Yes, son!
Yeah, because it was at 35 kPa. That's the thing.
If it's making more vacuum, the engine likes it, and it's running, then I'll add more. If it doesn't, then I'll go the other way.
For clarity, we are trying to tune this without a wideband right now. They're just doing it by osmosis, basically. But you know what? We're getting it done for now. We're going to actually do a tune here, but we just want to get it running for you guys for this episode. Okay, so there you have it. We got this thing fired up and it is running, and now we're ready to hit the dyno. So I'm stoked for you guys. So there were a few other things that we had to buy and didn't get that on camera, so want to put them right here. In order to connect the injectors that we got, those are EV6 injectors, and this truck comes with a Delphi style injector. So had to go to Michigan Motorsports and just get some adapter little harnesses. Those were $24.99. And then we did have to buy 2 credits from HP Tuners in order to tune this vehicle. Those are $49.99 a piece, bringing our total parts cost to $3,701.75. Now, you throw in the $2,000 for the truck, we are at $5,701.75. So we are still technically under budget, which realistically, you know, if you don't know how to tune yourself, you're gonna have to pay a tuner. So, you know, those prices are all over the map. Luckily, we got friends that we can conjure into doing this on their off time, and well, I'm probably gonna owe them some favors. We're basically right there at the door of $6,000.
Now, there are a couple parts on the car that, you know, we didn't include in the price. One is that Smetting Performance front timing cover that had an oil drain back on it. I have that for another build that I'm doing later on down the road. I didn't want to have to tap the oil pan for this. That's just what I would do anyway if this was the case and we were just trying to keep it all budget friendly, but it was sitting in my shelf. We're gonna use it. Also, that burn down tank slash coolant reservoir that we got from Freddy LSX, that's not in this budget. Also, the Summit Racing valve covers, again, that's for another engine, but you know what? I wanted breathers on this thing because it's gonna have a ton of blow by it. Probably, I already explained that though. So look, those parts have nothing to do with making more power. It just made this whole process easier. So that's why they're on there. Realistically, if you were using that stuff, it probably costs more money because then you have to get all the AN line stuff and then it just starts snowballing from there. So we've been able to stay under budget so far. We're gonna see what this thing does on the dyno. And then we're gonna go out and do some real world testing with it, because what fun is having whatever amount of power that it makes without actually using it? And you know what? If we blow it up and it'll be good TV. I do appreciate you guys for making it this far. Hell, this video is probably 40 minutes long at this point. So kudos to you, and thank you for the support here. I know it's been a really long time since I put a video out, but I've taken this last 2 months to basically stack content and shoot things that I actually think are cool. So I didn't want to put out any BS content, any filler content, kind of like the last 2 videos that I put out. I apologize about that, all right? Just, we're gonna, you know, I gotta own up to it. So here's the deal. We got a lot of fun stuff. We got the Escalade we gotta finish up. We're gonna stick the new motor in the K5. Got that at the shop right now. Gotta finish up the Tahoe. And then we got some more mods to the Corvette, and currently doing some really cool testing with the Raptor and Flex Fuel and a few other things. So far, kind of mind-blowing what it's actually done. So I'm stoked for you guys to see all that stuff. Then we did some really fun stuff with giant helicopters, trophy trucks, machine guns, all sorts of real American stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. We're back to normal schedule, 7 a.m. on Thursdays, that's Pacific time, but I may be starting to put out videos also on Mondays or Tuesdays as well. So if you subscribe and you actually hit the little notification bell thingy, you'll know when those come out. And if you didn't see it earlier in the video on screen, I actually talked to Summit Racing, and they're making a landing page of all these parts. So if you actually want any of this stuff, you can see what's actually on the truck. You can go there and, I don't know, get it if you want to. It should be in the description below. Or if you follow me on Instagram, I'll definitely post links to that, because hell, I want to see what you guys are building, and I want to see if you guys can make more power than this thing makes. I mean, hell, it's like nearly 300,000 miles, so there's got to be way more sauce in something that's a little bit tighter. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for all the support over the years. This has been fun. We'll see you on the next one.